7 days ago, the University of North Carolina left Phoenix national champions. And back on October 13th, only one team gets this privilege every year, the unveiling of the 2017 National Championship banner inside the Dean Smith Center. Tonight, North Carolina opens the season against Northern Iowa. Backcourt is very young. Sophomore starting point guard. And up at the top, Clint Carlson. He has improved that area of his game. It was October 23rd when he broke his hand. Coaches want him back for the Phil Knight Invitational, which is a couple weeks away.
Let's be cautious with this kid, and that's what Carolina's doing.
And so on the floor, Theo Pinson is tasked with the leadership duties.
He only played 13 minutes last year, saddled with fouls.
Nice turn, and that is Garrison Brooks.
Roy, 3 national championships, 4th in the number of Final Fours behind Wooden, Coach K, and Dean Smith. And how about this, Kevin? 8 times national coach.
It taught us never to underestimate an opponent and to always be ready. Last year was last year. This is the start of something new. Guys?
Well, and especially not this Northern Iowa team. This has been the class of the Missouri Valley. It's a beneficiary of many Ray Felton passes. Jalik Felton, his nephew, on the floor. Nice bucket.
He has a little more time, Kevin, to react to it. And you're seeing right now, Kevin, we're seeing one of the other young big kids, Sterling Manley from Ohio, number 21 from Carolina, inserted into the post.
Forwards that, regardless of whether they're ready or not, Roy Williams
and Hill, Akoji and Todrick Jackson for Georgia Tech. But you know what, Kevin? A lot of good players do defensively. Pressure, as we see Sterling Manley with the putback. When you play Carolina, big key. Carolina with the #1 recruiting class in the nation, that's where they felt it the most.
Thanks, guys.
Good backdoor cut. Taiwan Pickford, the freshman, and Dino, they all have to complete their.
Hear it from Coach Williams on that one. Lost vision of his man. Had his eyes on the ball, but see ball and man defensively. What flippantly that if you took each of the elements from these 4 freshmen that we have on the interior, he should when somebody commits. And at the end of the season, after the national championship, they get a call, Carolina, that he's changed his mind and wants to come to Chapel Hill. And here he is starting in game 1 for
Alabama. And there he is. Brooks with a quick 8-point lineup. Williams calling for it after the turnover. On this side, it's
Felton. I need a
Felton.
timeout here. I'm sorry, Kevin. Settle down those young kids for the Blue Devils.
Cook back into the game, and with the shot clock expiring, off the window.
Well, Northern Iowa.
And Robinson gets some extra reps also. Now Isaiah Brown, he's been gunning for that triple, and he finally.
The reason is the guy we just saw on the sideline, Ben Jacobson. He has done a marvelous job, in which is now his 12th season at Northern Iowa. And how about
2001? Haldeman, you talked about his 3-point prowess, so this is going to help you and I. Friedman into the game for the first time. Brown again, and it's an 11-2 run for Northern Iowa. That's 7 in the first half. That's about the spot he hit in Memphis last season, and Luke May. And now North Carolina runs. Spin move in the lane for Felton.
Every team is not without adversity and setbacks. You yourself suffered some. When you look at what happened to Barry at the start of this season, what did you...
But this is a great opportunity to develop your bench with Carolina and Roy Williams. And this kid right here has been on fire as of late. Well, what I liked about Luke May on the possession is he hits his own 3 on the offensive end. Really...
Inside, good feed from Felton. And he set his teammate up there nicely. And the southpaw. Carlson knocks down. North Carolina, the top team in the country in terms of offensive rebounds per game. Nice up and under that time for Cook.
Well, you see a veteran guy.
You know, you coached at Army, and you coached men that have served our country.
Really, and I've coached some great. And Ben Jacobson has done a marvelous job with it.
His team won 31 games a couple seasons ago. You highlight. Kenny Williams gets his man way up in the air, and he finishes at the rim.
Well, I think the best fake you can have
Easy.
5 days into the season. What a nice drop-off by Theo Pinson for Carolina, and great hands again right there. Man, can that cat shoot. Spencer Haldeman, what a all-freshman team last year.
Redshirt sophomore from Iowa, Kenny Williams. The opener. This is Bennett Cook. Nice twist.
You know what? He has a wonderful game down on the low post. He's going to score inside.
Well, he's going to be an 1,000-point scorer at the end of this season. Hoffman with this.
Right now a defensive presence with his shot blocking.
There's Luke May on the fadeaway. Career high 22. He got back in time for that. There's Huffman again.
Was the quarterback at Carolina from 84 to 87. Led the ACC in passing yards that year with over 1,400 yards. So pretty athletic family right there. Moving the ball, passing the ball, looking for their teammates. And you get a great shot. Play the same way. Wonderful high-low pass right there.
There's Luke May going to work again on Carlson.
Certain values. I think the UCLA 3, those freshmen, abandoned the core values of that team.
Angelo Ball, Cody Riley, Jalen Hill. 80 points for North Carolina. Brown gets the roll. That's Isaiah Brown, sophomore from Flower Mound.
Really were. They had a lot of injuries. We were fortunate to beat them in Chapel Hill. I remember young guys, young big guys. We're seeing another young big guy in Walker Miller, number 22.
Differential. There's Manley doing some work down on.
It's historical when it comes to the ACC. 17 NCAA tournament championships, 64 Final Fours, and then you go more contemporary as we see the 3 again from Haldeman.
And now Duke leapfrogging UNC as the top 2018 class thanks to that signing.
I think this is Mick Cronin's best team, Kevin. Here's why. They always defend. They always rebound. They'll do it again this year. But I think they...
You know, we talked about his relationship with Greg McDermott. Adam McDermott on the floor. That's Greg's nephew on the team this year. Hey, North Carolina, the defending